Welcome back to our channel, where we bring you the latest updates from the world of politics. Today, we have a special video as we're going to discuss the recent election of Mike Johnson as Speaker of the House, and hear from Hakeem Jeffries, a prominent member of the House. But before we dive into the details, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Now, let's get started. As you just saw, Hakeem Jeffries addressed the House following the election of Mike Johnson as Speaker. Let's break down what he said and why it's significant. Hakeem Jeffries began by congratulating Mike Johnson on his election as Speaker. He emphasized the importance of unity in the House and working across the aisle. Jeffries stressed the need for bipartisan cooperation in these challenging times. He discussed the pressing issues the nation faces and the necessity of working together to address them. Jeffries addressed the importance of protecting democracy, referring to recent events that have tested the nation's institutions. He emphasized the role of the House in upholding the principles of democracy. Jeffries' speech highlights the key themes of unity, bipartisanship, and the defense of democracy, which are critical in today's political climate. As you can see, Jeffries' words received a warm response from his fellow representatives. It's a promising sign for cooperation and progress in the House. Jeffries' speech reflects the desire of many lawmakers to put aside partisan differences and work towards common goals. It's an important step in the effort to address the pressing issues facing the nation. The role of the Speaker of the House is pivotal in maintaining order and advancing the legislative agenda. It's clear that the House is committed to facing the challenges ahead head-on. Before we delve deeper into Hakeem Jeffries' speech and the election of Mike Johnson as Speaker, let's take a moment to understand the historical significance of this position. The Speaker of the House plays a pivotal role in shaping the legislative agenda and maintaining order within the House. It's a position of immense influence and responsibility, often described as the second most powerful in the U.S. government. The Speaker is not just a leader within the House, but also represents the House to the President, the Senate, and the public. They have the authority to determine which bills come to the floor, and their decisions can shape the political landscape of the entire nation. The Speaker must balance the diverse interests of House members, ensuring that bills get passed while fostering a sense of unity and cooperation. Now, let's briefly discuss the newly elected Speaker, Mike Johnson. He has served as a representative from Louisiana and has a background in constitutional law. His election as Speaker is significant, as it signals the priorities and direction that the House will take in the coming sessions. Jeffries emphasized the importance of a transparent and fair election process within the House, ensuring that the Speaker is elected with the support of the majority of members. He expressed a strong commitment to oversight and accountability, which is a critical function of the House in monitoring the executive branch and ensuring checks and balances. Jeffries highlighted the importance of addressing pressing issues such as healthcare, infrastructure, and climate change, and emphasized the role of the House in passing meaningful legislation. Hakeem Jeffries also acknowledged the challenges ahead, including the ongoing pandemic, economic recovery, and social and political divisions. He stressed that these challenges require a united effort to find solutions. In essence, Hakeem Jeffries' address is a call for unity, transparency, and cooperation in the House, as well as a reminder of the critical role that the Speaker plays in the functioning of the U.S. government. Mike Johnson's election as Speaker reflects the priorities of the House majority and sets the tone for future legislation. His legal background may influence the House's approach to legal and constitutional matters. It's essential to watch how this leadership change will impact upcoming debates and legislation. To truly appreciate the significance of Mike Johnson's election as Speaker of the House and Hakeem Jeffries' address, it's important to understand the historical context. Throughout American history, Speaker elections have often been pivotal moments that shape the course of the nation. From Henry Clay to Nancy Pelosi, past speakers have played a vital role in influencing the legislative agenda and making history. The Speaker's role extends beyond merely presiding over House proceedings. They are a key negotiator, strategist, and often a unifying force in the House. Their decisions have far-reaching implications, affecting everything from the passage of crucial legislation to the budgetary process, and at times, even the country's foreign policy. As we look at Mike Johnson's election as Speaker, it's important to consider his approach to leadership. His legal background and conservative ideology could lead to a more assertive stance on issues such as constitutional interpretation and legal reforms. However, his leadership will also be tested in navigating the diverse views within the House and achieving consensus. Jeffries' focus on unity is a response to the increasing polarization in American politics. He emphasized the need for cooperation across party lines to address the nation's most pressing challenges. His commitment to constitutional oversight highlights the House's role in upholding democratic principles. This may lead to more robust oversight of government agencies and their actions. Jeffries' mention of healthcare, infrastructure, and climate change as key issues reflects the House's priorities in the coming term. These areas may see significant legislative action under his leadership. Jeffries rightly acknowledges that the House will face an array of challenges in the coming term. The ongoing pandemic, economic recovery, and environmental concerns are just a few of the issues the House will need to address. His words serve as a call to action for the House to work together to find meaningful solutions. The implications of Mike Johnson's election as Speaker and Hakeem Jeffries' vision are far-reaching. They will influence the policy direction, legislative agenda, and the tone of political discourse in the United States. It's vital to watch how this leadership change impacts various policy debates and upcoming bills. Historically, Speaker elections have often been a reflection of the nation's political climate and the balance of power. For instance, Newt Gingrich's election as Speaker in 1994 marked a pivotal shift in congressional politics. Understanding these historical milestones helps us gauge the potential impact of Mike Johnson's tenure as Speaker. The Speaker's role is more than just a ceremonial one. They're often the linchpin in the balance of power between the legislative and executive branches. With the current political landscape, Mike Johnson's election may signal a shift in the House's relationship with the White House and the Senate. Mike Johnson's leadership style is worth noting. He's known for his firm conservative stance, which could influence the House's approach to issues like taxation, healthcare, and immigration. The Speaker has the authority to shape the legislative agenda and prioritize certain bills, and Johnson's ideology is likely to play a significant role in these choices. Hakeem Jeffries' call for unity is significant in a time when political polarization has often hindered legislative progress. His message underscores the need for both parties to come together to tackle complex challenges, such as healthcare reform and infrastructure development. It's a call for compromise and cooperation. The implications of this election and address are broad-ranging. They'll impact the bills that move through the House's relationship with the Senate, and how Congress interacts with the President. It's a moment of great significance, and its effects will be felt throughout the nation. We can expect the House to tackle a range of important issues, from healthcare reform to climate change legislation. How these initiatives are shaped, debated, and passed will be influenced by the Speaker's priorities and the dynamics within the House. To truly grasp the importance of the recent Speaker election and Hakeem Jeffries' address, we should take a closer look at the historical significance of Speaker elections. Throughout history, these elections have marked turning points in American politics. For example, the election of Tip O'Neill as Speaker in the 1970s was instrumental in shaping the legislative agenda and restoring a sense of bipartisanship during a turbulent era. The Speaker's role is enshrined in the United States Constitution. Their authority extends to both legislative and procedural matters, and they are responsible for maintaining order in the House. In addition, the Speaker often serves as a public face of the House, representing it to the President and the international community. With Mike Johnson's election as Speaker, we can anticipate a focus on conservative values and principles. This may influence policies related to taxation, healthcare, and immigration. His leadership style and approach to legislation will have far-reaching implications for the legislative process. Jeffries' emphasis on unity and bipartisanship is a call for collaboration across party lines. In an era marked by polarization, his message highlights the importance of finding common ground to address the nation's most pressing issues. Jeffries' commitment to constitutional oversight underscores the House's role in overseeing the executive branch, ensuring checks and balances are maintained. This may lead to increased scrutiny of government agencies and their actions. His mention of healthcare, infrastructure, and climate change as focal points reflects the House's intended priorities for the upcoming term. These are critical issues that the House aims to address with meaningful legislation. As Hakeem Jeffries pointed out, the House faces a range of pressing challenges, including managing the ongoing pandemic, revitalizing the economy, and addressing environmental concerns. His speech serves as a rallying cry for the House to work collectively to find effective solutions to these issues. The election of Mike Johnson as Speaker and Hakeem Jeffries' address have far-reaching implications for U.S. governance. The House is a central player in shaping the nation's laws and policies, and its leadership can significantly influence the direction the country takes. The Speaker of the House, throughout American history, has often been at the center of monumental political shifts and defining moments. The likes of Henry Clay, Sam Rayburn, and Tip O'Neill left indelible marks on the nation's policies and legislative history. Understanding this historical context helps us appreciate the gravity of Mike Johnson's election as Speaker. The Speaker plays a crucial role in the system of checks and balances within the U.S. government. As a key figure in the legislative branch, they can either facilitate or hinder the executive branch's initiatives. They set the legislative agenda, decide which bills get debated and voted on, and ultimately they have the potential to significantly influence the direction of the nation. Mike Johnson, as the new Speaker, brings his unique leadership style to the Position. Known for his unwavering conservative values, he's likely to prioritize issues such as tax reform, health care, and immigration in the House's legislative agenda. His approach to these matters will significantly shape the bills that come to the floor and affect the lives of Americans. Jeffries' strong emphasis on bipartisanship and unity highlights his commitment to bridging the political divide. His call for collaboration is especially pertinent in an era marked by increasing polarization, where finding common ground is often challenging but essential. Jeffries' commitment to oversight underscores the House's role in maintaining a system of checks and balances. This suggests increased scrutiny over government actions and adherence to the principles of democracy. Jeffries' mention of healthcare, infrastructure, and climate change as primary concerns sets the stage for the House's legislative priorities. These are critical issues that demand comprehensive legislation to address them effectively. Hakeem Jeffries aptly acknowledged the significant challenges that lie ahead. Dealing with the ongoing pandemic, economic recovery, and environmental issues requires a concerted effort and cooperation across party lines. Jeffries' call to action underscores the importance of addressing these challenges promptly. The election of Mike Johnson as Speaker and Hakeem Jeffries' vision set the stage for significant developments in U.S. governance. As the House shapes the legislative agenda, it holds the power to influence the nation's direction on critical issues such as healthcare, infrastructure, and the environment. The Speaker's election and Hakeem Jeffries' address will have a profound influence on various policy areas. For instance, on healthcare, Mike Johnson's conservative stance may lead to efforts to repeal or reform the Affordable Care Act. On infrastructure, Jeffries' commitment may lead to comprehensive legislation addressing the nation's aging infrastructure and job creation. And in the realm of climate change, both leaders will shape the House's approach to addressing this global crisis. These developments will also affect the dynamics between the House, the Senate, and the executive branch. A speaker with a specific ideology can have a considerable impact on negotiations and the legislative process. The Speaker will need to work closely with the Senate Majority Leader and the President to push forward their legislative agenda. Hakeem Jeffries' emphasis on oversight and accountability is noteworthy. This may lead to increased congressional scrutiny of government actions, investigations into possible wrongdoing, and a more assertive role in maintaining democratic principles. The House's ability to provide this oversight is a critical aspect of the U.S. system of government. Mike Johnson's conservative ideology is likely to lead to legislative efforts aimed at reducing government intervention in various sectors, particularly in healthcare and immigration. His leadership may influence bills that focus on economic deregulation and tax reform. The Speaker of the House not only shapes domestic policy, but also plays a critical role in the nation's international affairs. The election of Mike Johnson as Speaker and the priorities set by Hakeem Jeffries could influence U.S. foreign policy, trade agreements, and international relations. For instance, their stance on global issues like climate change and international trade agreements will shape the U.S.'s position on the global stage. In a democratic system, the power doesn't solely rest with elected officials. Public engagement is crucial in influencing policy decisions and holding leaders accountable. The constituents' voices and concerns play a vital role in shaping the legislative agenda. Therefore, it's vital for citizens to stay informed, participate in the democratic process, and engage with their elected representatives. In an era marked by increasing political polarization, the ability to find common ground and compromise is essential. The Speaker's role is often that of a mediator between different factions in the House, working towards balanced solutions. The Speaker must be adept at finding common interests and fostering cooperation for the greater good of the nation. Hakeem Jeffries' call for transparency and oversight highlights the importance of an open government. Transparency builds trust between the government and the public, ensuring that elected officials are held accountable for their actions. This is a fundamental aspect of a functioning democracy. In conclusion, the election of Mike Johnson as Speaker and Hakeem Jeffries' address will have far-reaching effects on national and international relations. The Speaker plays a central role in shaping policy and fostering cooperation within the House, while public engagement and compromise remain crucial elements of a thriving democracy. We will continue to closely monitor these developments here on Worldwide News. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe for the latest political insights. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be back soon with more.